Good morning, everybody. I want to just go over a few things with you for the changes that were made to the AP Environmental Science test. So, if you take a look, obviously, at the screen, it'll go through stuff, and I'll include this PowerPoint as well. But the test is going to go over units 1 through 7, and that's College Board's units 1 through 7, not necessarily our units 1 through 7. Just so you know, we've covered the material that is needed for units 1 through 7. I'll go a little bit further into the mining because that has a tiny bit more weight than we went over in class. But don't worry, when it comes to that point of reviewing that chapter, we'll go into that a little bit more in depth. But the test is going to have a national exam day of Monday, May 18th, and that's going to be at 3 p.m. Obviously, I don't know if we're going to be in a school building at that time or not, but if we are in school, you'll be taking that in school on that particular day. If we are outside of school, you'll still be taking it through your own laptop, computer, iPad, something else at home. We'll know a little bit more about that as that starts to roll out and we start to have issues and conflicts. So I don't have the way of addressing certain questions about that particular date at this time. I'll make sure to get you that information. So the test is going to be made up of 2 FRQs. It's a 50-minute kind of total test when it comes down to everything because of uploading times. So the first FRQ is a 25-minute timed FRQ, and then you have 5 minutes to upload and submit your answer. And then the second FRQ you have timed in for 15 minutes, and then a 5-minute submission period. So there is going to be a timer in the testing mainframe that's going to count down for you. You can turn that timer off, you can keep it on. They suggest keeping it on because, again, if you go past that 25 minutes, you're going to cut into that submission period. If you don't get your stuff submitted within that time frame, the answer does not get put in. And you would have to then take the retake test later on in June. So it's very strict timeline criteria that you have to stay within. So keeping track on your own or keeping that timer up is really, really important. Technology use, you can use your phone, your iPad, a tablet, a laptop, your desktop, any device that you want that you can actually get the internet off of. But here's the trick. Whatever device you use to acquire the questions has to be the device that you use to then upload and submit your responses. So if you try to use your laptop, but you want to take a picture of your response using your cell phone, you then have to take your cell phone, email that to your laptop, and then upload from your laptop. Same thing if you're using an iPad or anything else. It also might be difficult to use a cell phone for everything because the prompts are going to be super, super small. You're going to have to scroll through those prompts quite a bit to be able to answer on a piece of paper or on a Google Doc. So again, whatever technology you're starting with is also the technology that the answers must be submitted in. So again, if you're quick enough that you can start typing in a Google Doc and then quickly transfer that over and upload it, great. If you are able to write on a piece of paper, take a picture on your phone, quickly email it to your laptop and upload it from there, awesome. Or just use your laptop for everything and hold up a sheet of paper and take the picture that way. If you or you know somebody who might have technology problems, please make sure if you're having issues with inconsistent Wi-Fi, maybe your laptop's broken from school, contact the school or contact College Board by April 24th. They have certain things put in place. The school district has certain things put in place. They can replace your laptop and make sure that everybody has an equal chance and opportunity to take this exam. So here are your 2 options for actually taking the test. You can type your answers on an electronic device. So typing them in a Google Doc or on a Word doc, something along those lines. Or you can handwrite them and then take a photo with your phone and submit it again using an electronic device. It's up to you. Just make sure that it's legible if you are taking a picture of your handwritten stuff. So some resources, because this is an online assessment. You can obviously access your textbook. You can have notes available for you. You can do internet searches. So really you can look up stuff, but again, you only have 25 minutes and 15 minutes for each of these FRQs. You can't be wasting time looking up little things. So the types of questions that they're asking are going to be broad. How are you going to apply this to a new situation? Or how are you going to apply this to a scientific investigation? So again, if you don't remember what, I don't know, El Nino is, you might have to look that up quickly to be able to make your lab or make your argument. That's fine, but you're on a very strict timeline, so you can't be looking up everything. They've restricted you from live chat, social media chat, outside answering of questions. They have ways of figuring out if you are the one actually taking the test or not. So they are going to start monitoring social media soon to make sure kids aren't talking about how they're going to try to, cheat the system. So the first of your 2 FRQs is the 25-minute one. This is 60% of your exam weight. This is a free response question that's going to be a design and investigation. So again, you're going to have an authentic earth science scenario, or environmental science scenario, accompanied by either a model or a visual representation or some quantitative data, so graph or data table. These questions are going to assess your ability to do 4 things. Describe and explain the concept, the process, and the model. Analyze a visual representation of the data. So maybe you're analyzing the graph and looking at trends or what have you. Analyze a research study that tests the principle. So maybe it says, hey, now that they've done scientist one's experiment, what claim would you come up with, or what conclusion would you, arise to? And then describe the environmental problems and or potential responses. This is where your background knowledge of knowing what these things are and how they have an effect on the world is going to be tested. So what sort of environmental problems come from this? What are some ways of mitigating that issue? How would you go about fixing it? Whether that's with air pollution or eutrophication, fixing soil fertility, what have you. The second question is the 15 minutes, and that's worth 40% of your exam weight. This one, you're going to analyze a problem and propose a solution. So again, you're going to be given that authentic scenario, you're going to get a model or some quantitative data, and you are going to have to do 3 things for this. Describe and explain the concept, the process, or the model in a written format. Analyze the representation or the data, so again, looking at those trends. And then, this is where it gets a little bit deeper, propose and justify solutions to the environmental problem. So again, you have to know what these issues are, you have to understand what's going on with these issues to be able to propose and justify. So having that rote memorization of, what does nitrogen do or what does phosphorus do is extremely important. The AP exam dates, again, Monday, May 18th is ours at 3 p.m. The makeup date is Wednesday, June 3rd at 1 a.m. And again, that's only if you have a conflict, and that has to be validated by our school to be able to allow you to do that second one. So if all of a sudden you have technical difficulties, the internet goes down, uploading is an issue, you didn't do it within the 5-minute time frame, you would then request from Mr. O'Brien at school to be able to do the makeup date. The exams are actually returned to us by May 26th so that we can actually see your answers and what you have uploaded. So we have 6 weeks-ish to try to get all of this stuff done, to try to review. So I'm going to finish exploring some huge key concepts. We're going to focus on scientific practices. We're going to utilize a lot of practice exams. And eventually, College Board is actually going to roll out a makeshift platform so that you can actually practice what it's like to get a prompt and have to upload that prompt or your answer. So we'll practice that as well. So again, we're going to be doing a little bit of mixture of all these different things to help you review. All right. Let me know if you have any questions.